Hello, dear ones. It's Stacy going live from Shambala Tantra. Hope you're doing well. It's wonderful to be here with you today. Lately, many people have been asking us, what is classical Tantra and how can it benefit me? In our experience, Tantra is inner yoga or yoga of the light. It is a philosophy or science as well as a healing art based on conscious living and conscious loving. The Tantras are actually ancient Eastern spiritual texts that originated from the Himalayas. So, for instance, the Dalai Lama and practitioners of Tibetan Buddhism are practicing Tantra, but they don't often use the word Tantra because of misconceptions that surround that and constructs of Western culture. The golden age of Tantra was about 1,000 years ago. It was practiced widely in the East and had a profound influence on every Eastern religion and informed the foundation of their society at that time. Tantra beautifully permeated society in areas of artistic expression, health, religion, architecture, and of course, spirituality. Tantric practices didn't come to the West until about 1900. And of course, they were bastardized. The Western view of Tantra often distorts, diminishes, and dilutes this beautiful tradition. The West has misunderstood that Tantra is a weekend soul-gazing retreat or hot tub Tantra that we may see on a reality show like The Bachelor. When in fact, Tantra is really the opposite of religion, and it affirms that the whole of creation as being sacred. It is a non-dual philosophy compatible with our true essence, which I experience as pure love or Mother Nature, and nature is our true nature. Tantra practice reminds me that there's no aspect of myself that needs to be rejected, diminished, or transcended. We are not broken. There is no wrong emotions or experiences. And there is nothing specific to get rid of other than our mind's misunderstandings about who we really are. Many of us have an awareness of yogic postures, Kundalini yoga, chakras, or yoga psychology from our yoga classes. And all of these teachings have roots in ancient texts. It's only been in about the last 40 years or so that Western scholars are studying Tantra as a technology that is now informing our cutting-edge scientists in cognitive science, physics, and the overall study of consciousness. For instance, the Nobel Prize winner this year in physics created an experiment where he studied the molecule, and he blew up the molecule to a very, 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 very large size. And in this process, he discovered that everything in the universe is in everything. By making the molecule so large and being able to examine it, he actually determined that everything is in everyone and everything is in everything. I heard a interview where he said, hey, the rishis were right. We are all one. Everything is in everyone. So really, modern science is starting to catch up with physics, and it's extremely exciting for us tantrics. Tantra yoga practice is truly about cultivating self-love and that the true power is within you. You are a limitless being. So you may be wondering, how is Tantra different than other forms of religion or spirituality, or maybe even yoga? Well, Tantra is actually intended and designed for householders, not just monks or nuns or people that live in a cave. Tantra embraces the mind-body system of a spiritual path, as well as every part of the human experience. Tantra's goal and endpoint is embodied liberation. So that basically means that you wake up in a body. Tantra fully integrates the mystical with the material. So we're magical beings. Tantra recognizes the divine consciousness within you as well as the whole of creation. And these practices can be done just about anywhere at any time. One of the things I love about Tantra. To me, it's the opposite of religion in that it affirms the whole of creation as being sacred. It's not this is bad, this is good, as in duality, but it's all compatible with our true essence, which I call pure love, or Mother Nature, or our true nature. When I practice Tantra, I'm reminded that there's no aspect of myself that needs to be rejected, diminished, or transcended. We are not broken. There are no wrong emotions or no experiences. And there's nothing specific to get rid of other than our mind's misunderstandings about who we really are. I may have said this twice on purpose. Most of us define ourselves based on the roles that we play, our stories, thoughts, and other limited constructs that grew out of a distorted society, whether we have an awareness of this or not. Self-love requires us to go beyond our limited mental projections and really experience life as it is from our heart, rather than through the lens of our cultural conditioning. For instance, I might define myself as a mother, a wife, or the owner of a cell phone, or a woman. I admit that sometimes I over-identify with these roles. I internalize personal lies, and I use them as an expression of my identity, as a weapon to create my limited and distorted rendering in the 3D world. The internalized rendering of my limited self has turned into anxiety, depression, and been projected out in stories like, I'm not thin enough, young enough, beautiful enough, rich enough, etc., etc. It goes on, right? We'll never be enough. Men and women, we all feel this way. Our culture's fucked up, y'all. Most of us have realized that these distorted views do not serve us in recognizing the truth of who we really are. The Tantric path gives us experiences of letting go of these limiting beliefs or personal myths without making it and the sources of them bad or wrong. This path is a process of developing an interest and a commitment to personal freedom, using Tantric tools as a means to experience your true essence, and organically shedding the misconceptions of the thinking mind. Many Tantrikas and myself have verified that the programmed limitations fall away naturally through consistent practice. Tantra is a meditation and a holistic approach to personal growth that opens us up to energy sensitivity in our body, which is also known as the mental body. An example of experiencing your energy body is when we feel emotions in specific areas of our body, such as our heart center. Maybe we feel like we're falling in love, or we've had our heart broken. We feel that in our heart center. Perhaps we feel a flash of insight or wisdom that comes from our crown chakra. These are palpable feelings that we cannot deny, even though we cannot see them in the physical world. We have maybe a flash of insight. It's kind of like the light bulb that goes on over your head. The energy of these feelings is real, strong, but cannot be identified or quantified by medical science or on the physical plane. As we develop our practice, we develop our intuition, superpowers, and true nature, or consciousness itself. The love that we all seek is within us. Once we tap into this place, we experience the magic of being alive on a deeper and deeper level. The path of Tantra is about becoming internally undivided and focused on cultivating the truth of who we are from a place of compassion towards yourself and others. So when we choose to flip the switch, instead of saying, I'm broken, we can choose to affirm that we are on the path of self-realization, which is about feeling more and more magnetic and alive. Tantric practices are the technology of how we can be open and loving in the present moment, naturally, and they have a cumulative effect. At Shambala Tantra, our ideal students are people who are open to being like scientists, exploring and cultivating their inner landscape while developing a deeper and more loving relationship with themselves while being part of a supportive community. Shambala Tantra feels that these teachings are important now, as inner yoga in many forms will be the technology or programming of humanity that we must utilize to build a more connected, conscious, and loving global community. You are in the universe is in you. We are all about building a rainbow bridge of hearts from the mountains to the sea that connects every living being. Would you like to play with us? If so, I hope you'll learn more about our trainings. Thank you for listening, and namaste.